Leo woman, if you are hearing these words right now, and each night you find yourself sleeping alone, this is not an accident. It's not something that happened by mistake. It is not a punishment, and it most certainly is not a sign that you are unloved. It is, in fact, the most sacred invitation the universe can extend to a soul like yours. Maybe you're single, maybe you're separated. Maybe you're a widow, or your partner is away for work, or maybe you've simply chosen solitude for now. Whatever the reason is, it doesn't change the truth that right now, you are sleeping alone. And every night you lie in your bed without another soul beside you, something divine is quietly unfolding behind the veil of this reality. While the world sees emptiness, the universe sees opportunity. You see, Leo woman, there is something about your energy, your solar, vibrant, fiery energy, that requires space to expand. It needs stillness to awaken. It needs the absence of distraction to rise into its fullest, most magnetic expression. This season of sleeping alone is not a void. It is not something to rush through or escape from. It is a womb, a cocoon, a sacred pause designed by something far greater than your conscious mind can grasp. And as you close your eyes in the silence of your room, what's really happening is a rebirth of your essence, your deepest feminine truth, one breath at a time. The world may have told you that a woman should not be alone. That fulfillment only comes when love arrives from outside of her. But the stars are whispering something else. They are telling you that you are the love you have been waiting for. That in your solitude, you are returning to the original flame that has always burned inside you. The flame that makes you radiant, irresistible, whole. Leo woman, this moment in your life is not ordinary. It is not random. It is divinely timed. Because only in solitude can your soul speak clearly. Only in stillness can your heart recalibrate its compass. Only when there are no outside voices to please can you hear the quiet, majestic voice of your own soul rising. There is a reason why, out of all the signs, Leo is ruled by the Santha, source of all life. You are not meant to orbit anyone. You are meant to shine. But to shine at your fullest brilliance, something inside of you must first be realigned. That's what this period of sleeping alone is doing. It's not keeping you from love. It's preparing you for a kind of love you've never known. A love that meets you where you are, not where you had to shrink to be accepted. So, if you felt restless, or confused, or even lonely during these nights, know this: the universe is not ignoring you. It is speaking to you. It is gathering the pieces of who you once were and gently shaping you into someone more powerful, more self-aware, more magnetic than you've ever been. You are not abandoned, Leo woman. You are being refined. And what's coming will be worth every silent night, every unanswered text, every tear shed in the dark. What's coming will not just fill your life, it will honor your soul. And that is why you are alone. For now, let's begin this journey together. Each night that you sleep alone, you are not just resting your body, you are entering a sacred space of energetic recalibration. You may not see it, you may not feel it fully just yet, but deep beneath the surface of your awareness, your entire being is being rewired. Your energy, Leo woman, has always been intense, magnetic, bold, unapologetically radiant. But right now, something far greater is occurring. This is not just you being strong or fierce. This is a cosmic reactivation of your divine feminine power, the kind that cannot be reached when you are constantly surrounded, constantly giving, constantly adjusting. You see, there are layers of conditioning that all women carry, expectations, compromises, roles we've been told we must play. And in the silence of sleeping alone, those layers finally begin to fall away. Every night spent without distraction, without needing to fit into someone else's needs or rhythms, allows your true essence to rise like the sun after a long eclipse. You're not becoming someone else. You are returning to yourself. And that return is powerful beyond measure. Because the Leo woman who has gone inward, who has faced the silence without fear, who has stood tall in her solitudes, he emerges not just stronger, but transformed. She doesn't just want more from life, she expects it. She no longer pleads to be seen. She becomes the one who defines how she is treated, how she is loved, and how her presence is honored. This energetic recalibration is subtle, yet profound. At first, you may feel a quiet, shiftingless interest in small talk, a soft resistance to chaotic energy, a deep yearning for authenticity. But as the nights go on, your system begins to adjust. You may notice your body feeling more alive, your mind clearer, your spirit no longer tolerating what once passed as good enough. You're not being emptied by solitude, you are being filled with clarity. You begin to walk differently. You speak more intentionally. Your eyes no longer search, they gaze. You no longer perform, you simply are. And in that state of being, something mystical begins to occur. The world starts to respond to you differently. But this transformation isn't about attention. It's about alignment. You're being aligned with what is worthy of your energy. The people, opportunities, and environments that once demanded so much of you begin to fall away. Not because you're cold or distant, but because your frequency has changed. You are rising, and not everything can come with you. Leo woman, don't rush this process. Don't wish it away because it's unfamiliar or uncomfortable. There is magic in the in-between. There is sacred power in the waiting. Your energy is expanding into something untouchable, something regal, and only those who can truly meet you there will be able to stand in your light without trying to dim it. Each night you lie in silence, your soul is whispering, "Thank you for returning to me." Because no matter what you've been through, heartbreak, loss, betrayal, disappointment, your essence was never lost, just buried, waiting. And now, in this space of sacred solitude, she is rising again. You are not the same woman who laid down alone last week. You are changing with every breath, every quiet realization, every refusal to settle for less. And soon, the world will see what the universe has always known. That a Leo woman who has remembered her worth is unstoppable. There is a sacred misunderstanding in this world that to be alone is to be empty, that without someone beside you, you are somehow incomplete. But Leo woman, you know now, in the quietest moments of your soul, that this is not true. You are not lonely, you are free. And freedom, for a woman like you, is the most powerful, the most creative, the most radiant space from which your true life begins. This is not the time to beg for attention, to shrink your essence just to keep someone close, to chase affection that comes with conditions. This is the time to rise into the fullness of your being, to allow your divine fire to blaze, without apology, without hesitation. You are not made to be background noise in someone else's life. You are made to be the center of gravity, the blazing light around which devotion naturally orbits. And that devotion, it cannot be earned through effort. It is only drawn in when your presence becomes so full, so unapologetically whole, that it commands recognition. But here's the mystery. That level of magnetism is only born in solitude. It is in the stillness of your nights alone that you stop performing, you stop adjusting, you stop compromising just to be chosen. And instead, you begin choosing yourself again and again, in the tiniest decisions, in the deepest breaths, in the moments no one sees. And the more you choose yourself, the more the energy around you begins to shift. You begin to feel a rising warmth in your body, not from the outside, but from within. You look in the mirror and something has changed. Your eyes are clearer, your posture stronger. Your skin glows not because of anything external, but because your soul is no longer dimmed. You feel it, don't you? That subtle power returning to your voice. That unwavering clarity when someone offers you less than you deserve and you simply smile and walk away. That magnetic presence that makes others lean in, even when you say nothing at all. This is not arrogance, this is remembrance. The remembrance of your divine place in this universe. The remembrance that you are not meant to chase but to shine, not to plead but to receive, not to prove but to be known. And that's the shift. That's the magic. You no longer feel desperate for connection because you realize that your own company is golden. Your own energy is nourishing. Your own presence is enough. And when you become a woman who no longer needs anyone to complete her, you become a woman who is finally ready to receive someone who complements her. Leo woman, this is not the beginning of your loneliness. This is the end of your settling. It's the moment you cross the threshold from needing love to embodying it. And the more you embody that love, the more your life will begin to rearrange itself to reflect that frequency. People will treat you differently. Opportunities will come from places you never expected. The energy around you will start to feel electric. Because now, you are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are choosing you. And the universe is listening. Have you noticed it, Leo woman? That subtle shift in how you respond to the world around you. The way your tolerance for chaos has quietly dissolved. The way your spirit no longer entertains conversations that drain you. People who disrespect your time, or situations that once left you anxious and questioning your worth. That's not coincidence. That's transformation. Your energy is becoming more selective. Your soul is refining its taste. You are no longer available for what once consumed your time and attention. And this is one of the clearest signs that the process is working, that the universe is drawing you into a frequency where only truth, only depth, only genuine connection can survive. The old version of you may have felt the need to explain, to justify, to prove, but this new version of you, she is silent. Not because she has nothing to say, but because she no longer wastes her breath on those who cannot hear her truth. You are being called into your queendom, and queens don't explain. They embody. That calm you feel when someone tries to provoke you, and you don't react, that's your nervous system finally realizing it's safe now. That softness that emerges when you no longer need to defend yourself, that's your inner feminine finding space to bloom again. And that increasing discomfort you feel around anything superficial, disingenuous, or emotionally unavailable, that is your new energetic field rejecting what is no longer aligned. You're becoming magnetic in a new way. Not the kind of magnetism that seeks to impress, but the kind that pulls people in simply because you've remembered who you are. You've remembered your worth. And your energy now whispers a truth more powerful than words. I don't chase, I attract. You're starting to notice that certain people fall away without explanation. Certain habits no longer interest you. Certain places feel heavy where they used to feel familiar. That's not a loss. It's a cleansing, a divine realignment. It's the universe making space for what is meant for you. This transformation doesn't happen in a single moment. It unfolds gradually, like petals opening to the sun. And each night you sleep alone is another moment of sacred unfolding. Another step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. You may have once tolerated the bare minimum affection that came late, love that came with conditions, attention that faded when you needed it most. But now, your soul refuses to beg. Your heart refuses to settle. And your body, your beautiful, powerful body, has learned how to recognize what is safe, what is sacred, and what is real. That's the miracle of this phase. It's not just healing, it's reprogramming. Your system is being recalibrated to such a degree that you are no longer available for crumbs only for the feast your soul has always deserved. Leo woman, whether you are single, separated, widowed, or simply in a season of distance, this transformation touches you all the same. If you are single, your energy is preparing to call in someone who sees your divinity without needing you to shrink. If you are healing from separation or divorce, this is the time when your spirit regathers her strength, not just to begin again, but to never again walk into anything that feels like a compromise. If you are grieving a partner you once loved, this solitude is not abandonment, it is reverence. A sacred space for your heart to soften, to open, to trust that love will rise again, this time even deeper, even more real. And if your partner is far, physically distant, but still part of your life, then this time is not about disconnection, it is about elevation. So that when you meet again, it is not in old patterns, but in new strength, deeper intimacy, and soul-to-soul recognition. No matter your story, the process is the same. You are being refined into a woman who walks in light, who radiates truth, and who magnetizes the kind of love that cannot be shaken. Not because you went looking for it, but because you became the kind of woman it cannot resist finding. And now, Leo woman, something extraordinary is happening. You may not have language for it yet, but your entire energetic field is shifting. You're glowing in ways that cannot be explained by makeup or mirrors. It's deeper than beauty. It's beyond charm. It's something sacred, something ancient being awakened inside you. This is your magnetism being reborn. and it's unlike anything you've experienced before. This magnetism doesn't beg, it doesn't perform, it doesn't chase validation. Instead, it draws in everything aligned with your soul, people, opportunities, love, even miraculously because of who you've become. You may begin to notice something. People look at you differently. They pause when you speak. They lean in when you walk into a room. Strangers feel compelled to compliment you, to talk to you, to be near you even when you're not trying. This is not ego, this is energy. This is what happens when a Leo woman completes her solitary transformation. You become a force of nature, a presence that changes the atmosphere just by existing. You radiate confidence without effort. You speak with a clarity that silences noise. You walk like a woman who has nothing to prove, and that is rare. That is magnetic. And it is precisely because you have done the inner work, because you didn't settle when it got lonely, because you didn't reach for the familiar just to fill the silence, because you stayed with yourself through the aching nights and the quiet morning sun chose to keep rising even when no one was watching. That is why your light is different now. It's not built on applause. It's built on alignment. You are no longer looking for someone to save you. You are your own savior, your own source, your own sanctuary. And ironically, it is this very fullness that draws in those who are ready to meet you at your level, not beneath you, not above you, but beside you. And there's more. Your intuition is sharpening. Your inner voice has become louder than the noise around you. You no longer second guess what you feel. You know instantly who respects you and who doesn't. You sense when energy is nourishing and when it is draining. This isn't imagination. It's embodiment. You've become a woman whose nervous system no longer tolerates chaos, whose heart no longer accepts inconsistency, whose soul no longer negotiates her value for a moment of connection. You attract what is worthy and you repel what is not. And the most beautiful part? You no longer feel lonely even when you're physically alone, because now your own energy has become the most sacred company. You feel safe in your own presence. You feel seen without needing to be watched. You feel held by the universe itself. That is the mark of a woman who has completed her sacred transformation. She no longer needs to fill a void with affection or attention. She doesn't fear silence because she has found her voice within it. She doesn't chase love because she has become love. Leo woman, what you're stepping into now is not just a new season. It's a new standard, a new level of sovereignty, a new level of joy, a new level of devotion not from others first, but from you to yourself. And from this place, the real magic begins. But Leo woman, before everything aligns, before your new life fully arrives, the universe will test you. And not because you are being punished, but because the energy you now carry is powerful. And with great power comes a choice. Will you return to what is familiar, or will you step fully into what is destined? In the next 30 days, the world around you will begin to shift. You will receive invitations, proposals, attention, romantic encounters, career offers. Moments that seem sweet on the surface, but you must look deeper. Because some of these offers will not be opportunities. They will be tests. They will come dressed in charm and comfort, echoing past patterns, whispering sweet promises, triggering old wounds. They may look like love, sound like destiny, but feel off deep in your gut. Listen to your body. Not your fear, not your loneliness, not your mind trying to make sense of it all, but your body, the sacred vessel that has carried you through every transformation. Because it now holds a wisdom beyond logic, a frequency that cannot be fooled. You'll know, you'll feel it. When something no longer aligns with your worth, your chest tightens, your energy dips. You second-guess yourself. You feel exhausted trying to hold on to it. But when something is right, your whole being softens. Your heart expands. You breathe deeper. You feel peace even before words are spoken. This is your compass now. This is your inner guidance system, awakened and sharpened by the silence you once feared. And remember this, not every offer is meant to be accepted. Some are simply here to see if you've truly learned what not to allow back into your life. The version of you that accepted half loves, breadcrumb attention, vague promises, and emotional uncertainty she no longer exists. But the world hasn't caught up to your evolution yet, so it will still send you shadows of your past, wrapped in slightly better packaging, just to see, will she return to what's comfortable, or will she rise to what's divine? The key is not to react with fear, or with ego, or even with judgment. The key is to pause, breathe, feel, and respond from your truth, not your triggers. Because now, Leo woman, you are no longer living on autopilot. You are awake, aware, aligned, and what no longer fits your vibration will fall away. Not by force, but by your sacred no. Your boundaries have become altars now. Each one you uphold honors the woman you've become. And every time you choose to wait rather than settle, to walk away rather than betray yourself, the universe smiles because you're showing that you're ready for what it's been preparing all along. This is your soul's final exam before the blessing arrives. You don't need to chase. You don't need to beg. You simply need to trust what you feel and act accordingly. Because what is meant for you, what is divinely designed for your energy, will never require you to sacrifice your peace to keep it. It will recognize you. It will resonate with you. And it will rise to meet the woman you become. Leo woman, perhaps one of the most sacred truths of this entire transformation is this. You are not only being prepared to receive love, you are being prepared to lead, to become an example, a lighthouse, a mirror in which other women can remember who they are. This path you've walked, the silence, the solitude, the sacred ache of being alone was not just for you. It was for every woman who watches you rise. Every soul who once believed she was too broken, too tired, too forgotten to begin again. You are proof that loneliness is not a curse but a calling. You are the living evidence that a woman who chooses herself again and again in the face of absence and uncertainty becomes unshakable. And as you now begin to emerge a softened, strengthened, whole, the universe will place others in your path. Women who are still in their silent nights, who are still questioning their worth, who are still choosing crumbs because they don't yet believe they deserve the feast. And without even trying, you will speak to them. Not just with your words, but with your energy, with your boundaries, with your example. They will feel something shift simply by being near you. Not because you are trying to lead, but because you've become someone who cannot be ignored. This is the gift of the Leo woman in her full essence. She doesn't command the spotlight. The spotlight follows her because her light is no longer performative. It's authentic, no longer hungry. It's sovereign, no longer seeking. It's settled in truth. And from that place, she doesn't demand love. She attracts it. She doesn't chase opportunities. They find her. She doesn't scream to be heard. Her silence speaks volumes. This is you now. This is what your lonely nights were birthing all along. You've become the kind of woman who no longer enters rooms hoping to be chosen. You walk into them and wait to see who has done the work, who has the depth, the emotional maturity, the reverence to stand beside a soul like yours. And from now on, everything you allow into your life will be a reflection of that knowing. This is your new normal. The ease, the clarity, the peace, the strength, the radiance. They're not temporary highs. They're the new foundation of who you are. And yes, there may still be moments where old patterns try to call you back. Moments when the temptation to settle appears, dressed in old comforts. But this time, you'll recognize it. And you'll smile not with bitterness, but with wisdom. Because now, you understand the difference between what once fed your ego and what now nourishes your soul. Leo woman, you are no longer a seeker of love. You are a source of it. And as this final stage of transformation completes itself, you will begin to notice the dreams you dream alone at night become brighter, clearer, more prophetic. Your body feels more alive, more sensual, more confident, more grounded. And those around you? They see it too. They don't know what changed, but they feel it. They feel the sacred fire in you. You are no longer a woman waiting for something to begin. You are a woman walking fully in her destiny. And this is only the beginning. Leo woman, You've walked through the fire of silence. You've endured nights that echoed with emptiness. You've cried into pillows, breathed through the ache, whispered prayers no one else could hear. And still, you rose. You rose with grace. You rose with fury. You rose with a light that could not be extinguished. Now, the universe is preparing its final offering, not just a reward, but a revelation, not a prize, but a mirror, to show you what you have truly become. You are no longer the woman who sleeps alone out of circumstance. You are becoming the woman who chooses carefully who she lets into her sacred space. And here is the miracle. Soon, someone will arrive here, perhaps already has, not to complete you, not to save you, but to honor you, someone whose soul recognizes the temple you have become, someone who does not fear your fire but is warmed by it, someone who doesn't compete with your strength but complements it with quiet presence, with truth, with depth. But even more important than that, you now have the power to discern, to see clearly what your soul responds to and what it withdraws from, to no longer be swayed by charm without consistency, words without integrity, or attraction without alignment. This is your divine discernment, a gift hard-earned through every night you chose growth over comfort, healing over distraction. And with this gift comes freedom. Freedom to walk away from what dims your glow. Freedom to say no without guilt. Freedom to wait not in desperation, but in power until what arrives is equal to your worth. You are not fragile. You are fierce. But your fierceness no longer looks like foresight, looks like softness that doesn't bend to disrespect. It looks like laughter that rises from a place of deep self-trust. It looks like eyes that have seen pain and still choose joy. You are not who you were. You have become the woman who walks through the world with a quiet knowing, I don't need to be chosen. I am already chosen by the universe, by my own soul, by the divine rhythm that guides all things. Every night you spent in solitude has built this version of you. Every moment you stayed instead of running, felt instead of numbing, loved yourself instead of chasing love has led you here. And now, as this sacred cycle draws to a close, you will feel it, a soft peace in your chest where the ache used to be, a quiet confidence in your steps where doubt once lingered, a deep trust that what is yours will come not rushed, not forced, but aligned. And you'll feel that your transformation is complete, that your waiting was not in vain, that your tears were prayers, and that the universe has heard them all. And now, Leo woman, breathe. Let it all settle. Let the journey you've walked in silence, the lessons you've carried in your bones, and the quiet strength that has been rising in you come to rest like a crown upon your head. You are no longer becoming, you are the woman who walked through nights of solitude and found divinity in her own heartbeat. You are the woman who transformed emptiness into sacred space. You are the woman who no longer waits for permission. She writes her own destiny, and the universe sees you. It has witnessed every moment you almost gave up, every breath you took when the weight was too much, every choice to rise instead of run, every sacred no that carves space for something greater. Now, that greater is coming. In the days ahead, you will feel the winds shifting. Opportunities will knock. Connections will deepen. Synchronicities will multiply. Dreams you whispered in your darkest moments will begin to take form before your very eyes. And you won't be surprised because your soul already knew. It always knew that this season of solitude wasn't punishment. It was preparation. It wasn't emptiness. It was sacred ground being cleared for a life that matches your magnitude. So take these final nights as a blessing, hold them gently, honor them, because very soon you will no longer sleep alone out of necessity. You will do so by choice, because you will have options so radiant, so aligned, so true that you will no longer settle for anything that doesn't feel like peace, like truth, like home. And when you finally choose to share your bed again, your time, your laughter, your fire, it will be with someone who knows what it means to be in the presence of a woman who has risen from her own ashes. Someone who will not try to tame your light, but protect it. Who will not just admire your strength, but match it with steady devotion. Until then, remember, every night you sleep alone is a night the universe whispers, you're almost there. And when it finally arrives, what you've been prepared for, you will look back at this time with tears not of sorrow, but of gratitude. Because you'll understand that each ache, each silence, each sacred moment alone was a prayer answered in disguise. Leo woman, your time has come. Stand tall, lift your chin, let your fire blaze without apology. You were never forgotten. You were being forged. And now, the life that mirrors your new energy is on its way. It will be more than love, more than success, more than peace. It will be you, finally coming home to yourself. So walk forward now with your heart open, your soul on fire, and your standards sky high. The universe is not just watching, it is celebrating you. The transformation is complete, and your new life begins now. So now, beloved Leo woman, take one final look back, not with regret, but with reverence. See how far you've come. See the woman you were, the one who once doubted, who once dimmed her light to be loved, who once feared the silence. And now, look at who you are. A woman who walks in stillness and hears the voice of her soul. A woman who no longer breaks when left alone but builds. A woman who doesn't just survive the night, she glows in the dark. The journey you've walked was not easy. It required courage no one else could see. It demanded a letting go so deep, it felt like loss until it revealed itself as liberation. And now, the path ahead is opening. Not because you chased it, not because you forced it, but because you became ready. The blessings that are coming into your life are not rewards. They are reflections. Reflections of who you are now, of the frequency you carry, of the truth you now embody. And from this day forward, everything that enters your life must meet this new standard. It must honor your light, nourish your peace, protect your softness, and match your fire. Because anything less is no longer just unworthy, it's invisible to the woman you have become. You no longer need to be loud to be heard. You no longer need to explain to be understood. Your energy now speaks first. And it says, only what is true may enter here. So go forward now, not in haste, not in fear, but in sacred confidence. There is no need to rush what is divine. There is no need to grasp what is already on its way. Hold your head high, walk with grace. Let your life be a prayer that answers others. Let your presence be a portal of remembrance for yourself and for every soul that crosses your path. This version of you is untouchable. Not because she is hard, but because she is whole. And as you lay your head on the pillow tonight, no longer wondering when things will change, but knowing deep in your bones that they already have, feel the universe wrap around you, whispering, well done, my lioness, you made it. You've returned to yourself. And now, let everything that is worthy of you come.